What's up, guys? It's your girl Sophia back at it again with another video. You already know I'm bringing you all of the story time, all of the coolest story time. So today the story time is all about my experience in Angola and how I thought of it, how I saw Angola and all of that for the first time going back, which was lit. So without further ado, let's get into the story time. So in February, around mid-February, my dad basically booked us a ticket, and I think you know what I mean. Like, you guys already know that your girl was acting up because she went and got herself a whole boyfriend. You know what I mean? A whole motherfucking boyfriend. Was living together with the boyfriend. So I got myself a boyfriend, and I was living together with my boyfriend. So my parents were going nuts. My dad was going nuts. Honestly, he was already pissed off. Like, he was pissed off that I was spending too much money. I was not listening. The way I was behaving, it was just, and that's an African parent. That's an African dad. You just don't do that in an African house. You don't do that. Even if you leave the African house, because it's like, to them it seems like disrespectful and all of that. You know what I mean? So basically, in mid-February and all of that, like, obviously since I came here, like when I was a kid, I haven't actually gone back to Angola. So basically I was forgetting everything. Like, you know, I was forgetting my aunties, my uncles. I was forgetting everything. I came here when I was really young, so I started, you know, primary school here, high school here, college, uni. So I basically did everything here. If you put it like in the simplest form, I did everything here. And I didn't know anything about Angola. Like, I literally didn't know anything about Angola, and I wasn't even paying attention to what is happening to Angola or anything new, blah, 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 blah. So my dad was like, okay, I had enough. I have to take you to Angola because you forgot everything. You need to see your uncles and aunties, and you need to remember who they are and where you came from and where you were born, because that's an embarrassment if you don't know where you were born and you can't even speak the language. Because the language, let me tell you, my Portuguese went from like being okay to worse, because even when I was younger I was speaking Portuguese, but I wasn't speaking like every single day, because like I literally had nobody to speak Portuguese with. But obviously as I grew up, like, it's more like English. Even with my dad, I speak English with him, and it was so weird. It's crazy, because it's like English is not my first language, Portuguese is my first language. And the fact that my Portuguese is terrible, like right now it's okay, it's like 50%. But before, it was so terrible that like I couldn't even like say a whole sentence, like a full-on sentence, just without actually putting English in there. It was crazy. Like, it was really crazy. So my dad was like, nah, we gotta bring it to Angola because you're playing. So in the middle of February, my dad decided, you know what, it's a great time to go. February is a good time, so let's go. I actually took a holiday from uni as well, so we went to Angola, but it was more like kind of dragged to Angola because, you know, my dad was still pissed off that I was living with my boyfriend, and like it felt like a marriage that they never agreed to, you know what I mean? So it was like, what are you doing? He's basically was taking me to Angola to show to my family how I was behaving and how it was disgracing the family and all that, you know what I mean, in a sense. So like, we obviously traveled from Newcastle airport to Paris, and then from Paris to and Angola. And when I got there, let me tell you, when I got there, sis, when I got there, boo, like when I got there, let me tell you, it was hot as hell. It was like a heat wave. Like, you know how a heat wave is, like it literally felt like a heat wave was attacking me, bro. Like, just from like when I got there, it was just so hot. It was ridiculously hot, and I feel like anyone would definitely agree it wasn't for us. English weather, you're lying. You're a liar. You're a liar. That's all I got to say. English weather, you're a liar, bro. Like, that weather, it was crazy. It was way hotter than I actually imagined Africa would be. Like, bro, because I didn't grow up there, but it was just too hot. Like, how was that even impossible? So when we got there, obviously we did our checkout and all of that. The airport, nah, bro, just upon arriving there, people were already giving us stares. Like, it was crazy. At first I was like, oh, it's cool, you know, it's probably this thing like, okay, well, you know, more people, more foreigners coming to our country, you know. But little did they know I was from there, you know what I mean? You get me? Yeah, I was from there. So they kept looking at us and all of that. And then, like, obviously we had our uncle who was waiting for us. Like, obviously my uncle was waiting for us to take us to the hotel where we booked and all of that. So it was pretty cool. We had actually a really good experience, but it's just like, obviously the stairs, and like they'll stare at us like crazy, like we some foreigners or something. But I feel like everybody really just gets stuck on the stare whenever they travel to a different country anyways. Yeah, so like we got to the hotel. The hotel had like 2 guards, like literally 2 bodyguards at the door. Like, it had 2 bodyguards at the door. So we got in, and like I met like all of the workers and all of that. Mind you, yeah, one thing I noticed in the hotel, it was just me and my dad. That's it. It was just me and my dad. Nobody else was in the hotel. Like, you know how you get like other guests? Nah, that was not the thing. It was just me and my dad. Like, that was it. And I was just like, I was shook. I was like, what? It's just us? I was so excited to meet other people, you know? Like, meet other people and be like, oh, cool. Like, where you from? Where you coming from? It was just us. So, but it was really good though, because like I ended up seeing like my family were already there waiting for us in the hotel, which was really weird because like we just got there. So they were all waiting for us in the hotel. And like, it was so crazy because it's like, you know, one of those moments when like they be asking you like, don't you remember me? I used to carry you. Don't you remember me? Like, I used to carry you when you were a baby, like when you were this. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry, but how am I meant to remember you? Like, I am so sorry. Like, how am I meant to know? Like, I was a kid, I was a baby, bro. Like, how am I meant to remember you? Like, no offense, you know what I mean? Like, no offense. And I was getting that during the whole vacation, bro. Like, people come up to me and be like, I'm your uncle, I'm your auntie, I'm your niece, and I'm like, bro, I love you, family, but half of you I don't even know. But anyways, so my family came by, my dad brought some souvenirs, gave it to them and all of that. That day, actually, my family, we started arguing about where I would stay. Like, they wanted me to go to their house and visit them and actually stay in their house. And like, it was like, you know, one of those moments when you're just like, you can't even, like, you want to say something, you're like, oh. I was like, I don't know if I want to stay in their house. But it's like, you can't really like say anything because like they might take it disrespectful or something like that. So my dad was like, okay, you can just go there for like 2 days and then come back, you know what I mean? But like even my dad didn't want to just let me go, because it's like, Angola is an amazing country, but it's really dangerous as well. Like, you know, you never know. So that day I ended up going to my auntie's house. I met, bro, just the journey, let me tell you the journey, bro. Nah, took the piss with the journey. Not even kidding. That freaking buses, Angolan transportations are like the worst transportation ever I have ever took in my life, bro. The buses were half, like this, you know, the seat of the bus, yeah, it felt like half of them were already gone, yeah, and the bus was full, but the guy was like, yo, there's still seat, and I was like, where? There's not seat there. Like, there's not a seat. Like, where do you expect us to sit? Like, you tripping. So we had to get like the next taxi. They came over, and actually that taxi was much better. Let me tell you, much better than the bus taxis that they have. It was just a car, so it was much better. So we got to my auntie's house. It was actually a really nice place because it was like, obviously it was proper, like, you know, the Angolan. Like, obviously they have little byros in Angola, and it's like little, so you see, byros, like, I'm just Portuguese, bruv. They have this little like areas in Angola in it. So in Angola, like every single areas, it's like they have a name, just like we have a name here. Like, you have Greenwich, you have Lewisham, you have blah 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 blah. They also had names in their own little areas, obviously, and I totally forgot like what was the name of the area where my auntie lives. Well, you know me, like it's me. Like I be forgetting things. So like when we got there, my cousins, I was introduced to my cousin and all of that. Mind you, yeah, like I just wanted to meet my cousins. That's it. But the neighbors, neighbors came out to my auntie's house and they were like, oh, shaking my hand, saying hi, like literally, like they were bringing out every single small English they could master in their life, and I was just like, wow, I'm so proud. Like really, I feel very honored that you guys are trying so hard to speak to me in English. But it's like it was just not coming out right. Like it was just not coming out right. Some of the stuff they expected me to understand, and I'm just like, what do you expect me to understand? That's not a language, bro. Like I don't even know what you just said. But there was some of them, like I had a situation where my cousin's teacher, right? Yeah, my cousin went to her teacher, told her like like obviously my other cousin just came from Europe and she speaks English, like, and then the teacher decided, like, you know, I'll pay a visit to your house. Came to my auntie's house just to speak English with me. And there was even like a time where this guy, this random dude, right? Bro, when I say this guy is, because me and my cousin were walking down the road going to buy like they call French donuts, they call puff puffs. I don't know if you guys know it, but like obviously in Portuguese we call it bolinho. So we went to buy those because I absolutely love them, and some ice cream. And basically this guy saw me, and like I don't know what happened, if he fell for me or whatever it is. It was just so creepy, bro. It was so creepy. Cause like in a couple of hours, so he came to our, like, you know, our compound or whatever, you know, Nigerian people say, our compounds. He came to literally where my auntie lives, where their house is located, right? Mind you, don't know the guy, never met him before. Like came by and like was like, I'm looking for Sophia, because obviously I was introducing myself to other people, like my neighbors, my auntie's neighbors, saying my name is Sophia, nice to meet you. Da, 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 da. This guy comes by, is looking for me, and I'm just like, oh hi, how can I help you? He's trying to speak English to me, but it was so weird because he was trying to like slide in my DMs, like being like, and he was forcing it as well. He was like, I'm going to marry you. And I'm like, huh? I just met you. I don't know who you are. You're scaring me. Yeah, you might seem like a nice guy, but like, you gonna do what? You gonna marry me? Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? It's like so crazy. Like this guy just came out of nowhere and it's like, he's gonna marry me. Like, who you gonna marry? Like, who you gonna marry? Like, who you gonna marry? With which money? Bruh, who you gonna marry? It was so crazy. And like, I had to basically like turn him down, but the guy still didn't like listen. Because during the whole week, like the whole week when I was staying at my auntie's house, he was like, bro, he was trying every single shots to like slide in DMs, but it wasn't working. Bro, it wasn't working. After all, like I already had a boyfriend, and my dad took me to Angola to teach me a lesson. And now this guy was trying to pass on me, bro. Another thing as well. Another thing. Bro, Angola has the best food ever. Like, I'm not even tripping. Angola has the best food. Like, the amount of good food I was eating, it was so good. But my favorite one, because in our hotel, there was like this little bar right there, and they were serving goat meat. They were serving goat meat, like purple season, you know what I mean? Like a goat meat. It was so good. Like, it was so good. Bro, let nobody lie to you. The goat meat that you can get here is not the same the goat meat that you can get in Africa. Let me tell you that, and that's a fact, because the goat meat you can get in Africa, bro, is just amazing. And it's called, obviously, like in Portuguese we call it cabriteiro, but it's like, it's just, oh, bro.